One team that we have been pretty high on throughout the offseason, and we've done videos about them because they truly are a talented team, is the New York Giants. Now, obviously, there's questions. Yes, currently sitting at 4-7 with a lot of things to answer. And I honestly believe, even though they are fourth in the AFC East right now, I think there's enough to build on in New York. I full-heartedly believe that with the Giants. Now, there's a lot of reasons for the Giants could rebuild rather quickly. Now, obviously, you've got a talented roster as it is. Daniel Jones, I don't know if he's the answer at quarterback right now. I think that's a question we just kind of still have to see, because I see moments of brilliance and athleticism and just and then other moments of I don't know. It's not all on him because his offensive line is nothing to brag about. That's fair to see, even though there has been some very good play from it. Overall, I think that needs to be honesty about where the Giants are right now. There's positivity surrounding this team, and I think they have all the pieces, especially with their 2022 draft picks that they have coming up. There is optimism and reason for optimism in New York. Now, obviously, Mike Glennon is backing up Daniel Jones, but some of us might have forgotten through no fault of our own because it's the NFL season. And we're busy. Jake Fromm is currently on the New York Giants roster as currently slotted as the number 3 quarterback. I like what I saw from Jake Fromm out of Georgia. I really did. I felt like, obviously he led a great team, but there was also some things that you just liked from his game. I thought he had a good arm. I thought he was able to get the ball out quickly. And, a guy that threw 78 touchdown passes and over 8,200 yards for the Bulldogs, I think he could be something special, especially if he gets the protection he needs and they put him in the right system. In other words, also getting Saquon Barkley back healthy will be a big help. But Devontae Booker has also been, obviously running the ball very effectively. But this offense is too talented to really, honestly, if the NFL season or if the NFL teams, were like matchmakers, I would never, ever put this Giants offense with this defense, because the offensive weaponry from the Giants is actually very, very good. Obviously, who you got at quarterback matters, whether it's Daniel Jones, Jake Fromm, whoever it is, even quarterback to be determined. But you have minus quarterback, which I know is hard, the most important position in football. But let's look past that for a second. You got Saquon Barkley, Kenny Golladay, Darius Slayton, who I know has gotten a lot of hate, but he is like part of the battle in the NFL is getting open. The other part is catching the balls. I know it's been tough for Slayton. He's had kind of rough games throughout the year, but I still have a lot of faith in Darius Slayton. You also got Sterling Shepard, John Ross, Dante Pettis, Kadarius Toney, who has actually played very well through a lot of the year, and I think he's really showed out for the Giants. Also, Evan Ingram, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. I said it. Also, Kyle Rudolph has shown some things this year. I love what I've seen from Elijah Penny as well. Now, again, this offensive line, I think overall, obviously you got Andrew Thomas starting at left tackle, Matt Skura at guard, Billy Price. I think I was expecting a little more out of Billy Price, but overall, I like where this team is heading. Obviously, Will Hernandez at right guard and Nate Soldier at right tackle. But this defense, it's getting better. And when I said about the whole matchmaker thing, it's getting better, but I still think there's a lot of room to grow. Obviously, you got Dexter Lawrence starting there at the left defensive end spot, Austin Johnson and Danny Shelton there at the nose, and then Leonard Williams and Raymond Johnson III also at that right DN spot. And then obviously the linebackers are really kind of what intrigued me, because yes, you have Azeez Ojulari on the Sam linebacker spot, but you also have Quincy Roche, who I think has shown a lot of great things this year. Tate Crowder has been in my mind respectable. Reggie Ragland also a very underrated player in my mind. I've loved what I've seen out of him, and honestly, the corners here for the Giants are something like this is kind of impressive. James Bradbury, Xavier McKinney, Logan Ryan, also Adoree Jackson, and if Jackson can get back to somewhat of his dominating form when he first came out of college, I think this defense could be really quick. But there's a lot of room for growth with this defense and this offense, whether that's, again, quarterback, offensive line. I think off the top of my head, with watching the Giants, I would say in terms of draft needs, it goes pretty much the entire offensive line. I mean, you could probably make a case for a couple of players, but I've been playing this football manager game, and I like creating teams that just come out of nowhere, and I like building teams, and I would just restart with this entire offensive line. You could go, you've got a couple of first-round draft picks with the actually, let's get into that. It's not even just what the Giants have right now. It's their draft picks. They've got 2 first-round draft picks, a second, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, a fifth, a sixth, and 2 sevenths. Now, after about the 4th round, you kind of just start, experimenting with players to see how they go. Because after, in the 5th through 7th round, there's some good players that come out of there. But the 1st through 4th rounds, in my mind, is kind of what everybody focuses on. Even though it's the draft, even you look at guys that go undrafted, there is a lot of talent that goes through. But I do think that, 2 firsts, a second, 2 thirds. I mean, just 7 picks in the first 3 rounds. I mean, you just love what you see there because that's a lot of draft ammo. Now, I think, again, whether they want to go quarterback, well, it remains to be seen. But if you want to go guard, I mean, you got guys like Kenyon Green there at Texas A&M, Akim Ekwonu, Ekwonu, I think it is, and I never say any of these names right. But I mean, Zion Johnson, Darian Kennard, who's fallen down a little bit out of Kentucky, but I think he can definitely make some noise. Thayer Munford, I mean, Justin Schaefer. I mean, there's a list of guards here that I think can make an immediate impact for the Giants. And that's not it. Honestly, I think it goes a lot deeper than that. If you don't think Billy Price is the man, I think there's even some guys that you could look at to help fill some of those spots at the center position as well. The guys like Alec Lindstrom from Boston College, even players like Dawson Deaton out of Texas Tech. So there is even Luke Matthews out of A&M. Now listen, there is draft capital, there is draft availability, and there's draft picks for the Giants for the first 3 rounds here. Now, offensive line, there's a lot of different ways that go here, but I think there's a lot of interior offensive linemen that they could build from this year, and I think that they can do some big things. I think, honestly, this entire team, I think they are honestly a couple of offensive linemen away from being more in the hunt, just in the NFC East. Like, let's be real about it. If we're being honest with ourselves, I think if you give Daniel Jones just a little bit more time in the pocket, I think we could just see a little bit more some better play from him as well. I don't think it's that far-fetched, but let us know what you guys think. The Giants have the tools for a rebuild. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome, and we love every single one of you. Check out our website at thesportsreadpodcast.com. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, give us a sub and listen on iTunes. We'd greatly appreciate it. And also, if you have anything you'd like us to cover, make sure you send us an email to sportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we'd be glad to cover it. But let us know what you think about the Giants having ammo for a solid rebuild.